welcome back to another episode of Caffeinated CX, where we talk about CX and stuff all in a hyper-caffeinated state. I'm David, your host, and I have to say good morning. Good morning to all of you out there in CX world, in CX land, in the land of endless opportunity of milk and honey and coffee. No, I did not put milk and honey in my coffee, but CX land is the land of milk and honey. Yeah. And I'm wearing glasses today. Not that you can see this if you're listening to the podcast, but that's only so I can make really dark, dated my girl jokes. He can't see without his glasses. Stuff like that. So that's the only reason I'm wearing the glasses today. That and I found them. So it's nice to be able to actually read stuff that's across the room now. That's cool. And so far, I've wasted 1.5 minutes of your time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a sip of this delicious Amazon Basics coffee made in a Keurig machine. Because at Caffeinated CX, we don't care where the caffeine comes from. Just that you're hyper-caffeinated. And no, I'm not a doctor, so don't take medical advice from me, obviously. But I think if you're not hyper-caffeinated, you're doing something wrong, and you're probably going to get sick and die. Yes. 600 milligrams of caffeine a day keeps the doctor away. That's right. So today we're going to be talking about social media and brand messaging. And how we're going to do this is your message, your brand message, should be consistent from the very, very beginning to the very, very end. And this is important not only with initial marketing and, your website and the contact center and every single customer touch point. We're going to talk about social media because that's where, honestly, I saw my life going back a few years ago when, after too much coffee and too much Gary V, I was like, I'm going to be a social media marketer. That sounds like fun. And you know what? It is. But then I discovered I can make more of a difference in the world of customer experience. But my love of social media, which honestly borders on hate every time I log on to a social media site other than maybe LinkedIn. But that love still remains. So we're going to be talking about that. Now, your social media stuff, your posts, right? We're going to gloss past the fact that, they should be consistent. Yeah, you should be posting daily. Yeah, you should be posting across a great medium of platforms, right? So if you haven't started on TikTok yet, get started on TikTok, all right? If you haven't started on Twitter yet, get started on Twitter. Facebook, if you're not on Facebook, guys, what the heck? Anyway, now each platform is going to have its own unique base, right? If we were talking a year ago, TikTok was like 13-year-olds, and now TikTok is filled with 40-year-olds. So it aged up really quick. Oh my gosh, they just go there to watch no, we're not going to get into that. Anyway, so your messaging should be consistent. Not many companies can get away with the kind of humor that, like, let's say a old school Wendy's tweet had. I haven't seen one of their tweets in a while, so I don't know if they're still like the goofy, roasting type things, but that was funny, and Wendy's did well with it, that they revitalized their brand. And so by just being funny on Twitter, right? So And a lot of other companies tried to follow suit. A lot of them failed at it because it wasn't consistent. Why is this bank making jokes on Twitter? Right? Why is this bank writing motivational tweets? Stuff like that. No, the messaging has to be consistent with the rest of the brand messaging. So if they're a button-up shirt, very professional company, you don't really expect them to be roasting people on Twitter, let alone their competitors. That was one of the funny things that Wendy's did, was anytime McDonald's would post something, they'd reply to it being like, yeah, no, come to Wendy's instead. But that's where that's at. So it has to be consistent. It has to be matching the brand image, matching the brand promise. And here's an issue that goes right along with this, but a lot of people, a lot of social media managers will just use something like Hootsuite and just schedule everything out and set it and forget it. The old Ronco action. Set it and forget it. And yeah, in a sense that works with some things, right? And I'm not going to say don't do that, but also monitor it in real time so you can reply to those messages that come in from customers or others that kind of challenge your post or, start talking smack or something like that, and then engage with them. And depending on your brand and your brand image, let that determine how you respond to them. You go to a lot of brands' Twitters or brands' Facebooks, and there's no engagement with people in the comment section. You can tell on Facebook anyway if most of the comments have been hidden, because before you click on the comment section, it will say 686 comments. You click on it, and there's three comments left. And it's not because it's a most relevant is selected. It's because everything else was hidden because, well, either people don't like the brand or people were trolling or whatever. And I'm not saying don't hide comments, but maybe not 600 of them, right? And if you got 600 negative comments on a social media post, maybe that's worth looking into. Maybe you should find out why that happened, but you have to respond to them in a way that's reinforces your brand and the message behind it. So if you're a stuck up, and I mean that with all due respect, if you're a stuck up, professional, button up type of company, you want to respond very professionally. If you're a fly by night, fun having startup, you can have a little fun with it, right? If you're somewhere in between, you can be somewhere in between that, right? But you want to be consistent with your messaging. And that's not to say that you can't experiment, because you should, but not everyone's going to be 2018 era Wendy's, right? So that's it. So go out there, post, engage with people. Don't just post and leave. Go engage with other people, engage with other things, comment on things, be like, hey, that's cool, stuff like that. You want it to feel like, yeah, the social media is being run by a human, not by an AI or an algorithm, or just being a month's worth just being blasted up one day on Hootsuite and then it's scheduled out over the month, because that can lead to some really awkward things, like setting something, forgetting about it, and then having a policy reversal at the company where that tweet's no longer viable. Like, hey, we have this special, and you posted that a month ago to schedule it to post a month from when you posted it, but 3 weeks into that special got changed or axed or whatever. That social media post still goes up. You still get inquiries about it, and it's like, oh no. No. And social media is also, depending on your brand, a good way of shouting out your employees and having some of that employee engagement. If your brand allows it, maybe pass around the social media, log in for a day and have someone take it over for a day, as long as what they're posting is on point for the brand. There's no harm in that. Just, monitor it in case you don't trust your employees. And you should always trust your employees. And then you can go back and say trust, but verify, which is always a good thing to do. So anyway, that's today's Caffeinated CX. Just make your brand message consistent on all touch points. That includes an initial marketing, initial brand awareness, the contact center, every single customer touch point, including social media. That's it, guys. That's it. Now, if you want to steal my look, we're going to go over the prices of how much all of this stuff cost. Now, for the people out there that are just listening to this and not watching it on YouTube, all right, beanie, $10. Glasses from Zenny.com, prescription, $10. Amazon Basics black t-shirt, $5.99. That's all I'm wearing. No. Pants. These gray numbers, I'm not going to stand up or anything, but $15. K-Swiss. Shoes, I think they were $100. I don't know. I didn't buy them. My wife did. I would not spend $100 on shoes for myself. And then, nobody else knows this but me, and now you. Skeletor socks, $2. I didn't do the math on that, but figure it out. Figure it out. I dress cheap, just like I coffee cheap. Anyway, that was nothing. I apologize for that. Thanks for tuning in. This has been another episode of Caffeinated CX. Bye.